All right. Well, welcome to the Finance and Commerce Beyond the Skyline podcast. I'm Brian Johnson, staff writer with Finance and Commerce, and I'm pleased to be joined today by Bret Weiss, WSB President and CEO, who will talk about the company and an upcoming milestone in its history. It's good time to catch up with Bret because WSB, a local design and consulting firm specializing in engineering, community planning, environmental and construction services, is celebrating the firm's 30th anniversary this fall. WBC provides expertise across more than 50 services to help communities and industries navigate complex infrastructure needs. The firm employs more than 1,500 people nationwide, including 500 in Minnesota, and operates in 10 states. Bret, thank you for joining us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for that nice introduction.
Well, I was wondering if you could just expand on that introduction a little bit and tell us more about WSB and how the firm has evolved since it was founded way back in 1995.
Yeah, it's interesting. I had a gentleman that was actually our first employee at WSB stop into my office and tell me that he couldn't believe it's been 30 years. And I think that's true. You know, like everything in life, you take the next step, but each day, and you don't really look back that much. But we started the firm in 1995, and it was a totally different environment for engineering at the time. When we started, we really were focused on trying to create a different firm that was really focused on our staff and focused on our clients. And most of the firms that we competed with at that time, and even to this day, are much older than we are. So we had to set ourselves up to look a little bit different than everybody else because there was no reason for them to hire us if we were going to look exactly like those other firms. And so we focused on different things over the years, but our staff, our clients, and more recently, over the last 15 years, has really been on how we deploy technology and perform projects. And so those are the things that have really set us apart. But our growth has really been focused on this providing opportunities for our staff, as well as trying to be more sustainable over time. Projects are getting larger, clients are pooling things together, and sophistication in everything that we do is much harder as a smaller firm. And so growth is a little bit inevitable for us. And fortunately, we've been able to do that mostly organically and more recently with a few strategic acquisitions.
And how did the firm get started? Like how many people did you have when you first started out? And where are
Yeah,
you? We talked about what, 1,500 people now
yeah.
nationwide?
Yeah, there were five of us that started the firm. We actually had the former president of our former company who had just retired actually helped us get off the ground and understood all the back office things that we really didn't know. And then we had two employees that came with us right away. And it was a little bit rocky right off the bat. We didn't get the clients that we thought we were going to immediately, and then soon. And we started in October right after the first of the year, our former firm sued us. And so that was a little bit of a scary time. But we navigated our way through that. Our clients really appreciated who we were and what we were all about. And I would say our former firm made a lot of mistakes about how to deal with people after the fact. And I think that hurt them. And about 4 years later, they were out of business. Not because of us, and we weren't necessarily happy about it. We didn't really care about them, right? We were just focused on what we were trying to accomplish. Um, Now, two of those individuals that started the company with me are still working in limited roles at the company, and then the other two are no longer with the firm. So
So you are one of the original founders?
yes, yes, I'm one of the W's. There were two of us that were W's, and then an S and a B. And we had an M, but he was that president, and he wasn't with us for very long, so we didn't give him an initial. So.
Tell me a little bit more about what you're up to prior to founding the firm.
So we all had worked together at another engineering firm for so very similar, and it
Mm.
would have been easy to just jump off and try to mirror what we were doing, but we knew we had to be a little bit different. And so it was one of those situations where we could have gone and worked at another firm, but we decided that we wanted to try something on our own and see if we could create something special. And now here, 30 years later, we really have. And there have been so many people that have helped us along the way. It wasn't just us, right? It was all those people that took a chance on us very early on, and all those clients who gave us a chance as a fledgling young firm. And we did the right things. We focused on the end goal, right? We were not focused. People say, well, were you focused on making money? And we were really focused on building a great firm. And I think if you focus on that goal of being the best that you can be and treating your staff right and treating your clients right and looking at what opportunities are out there, then the rest of it takes care of itself. And so we've been able to take good care of our staff and our clients over the years, and we're continuing to do that today. And that really resonates with people as we talk to them. And we operate as one profit center, which is kind of unique for a firm of our size. But that's on purpose. We want our staff to do what they do best and to not try to worry about things that are outside of their control. And it's been a winning formula for us.
Can you talk a little bit about some of the clients you serve and some of the sectors you serve? You're pretty active in infrastructure projects, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, all infrastructure. When we started, we were 100% government projects, either working for cities or counties or state agencies. When the Great Recession hit, it hit us hard too, and so we had to retrench a little bit, and we realized that there was a lot other types of clients that we could provide our services to, the same thing that we were doing with government. So we made an intentional decision to try to branch out a little bit more. So we got heavy into the energy sector and do a lot of work for utility companies. We do work for contractors that work in the utility space on the renewable side. We do a lot on the we call it energy utilities, but it's doing inspection for damage prevention for gas. But then the probably 75% of our business is still on that government side, where we're doing large transportation projects, water systems, water resources, all of those things, anything that really builds the quality of life for us to live and work in.
Yeah, I see that the your firm worked on was it the largest solar development in Minnesota's history? What can you tell
Yeah.
me about that?
Yeah, that's very fortunate. We have a great client in Blattner that does a lot of solar work around the country, and Excel Energy is another great client of ours. And so when they decided to build that in the northwest suburbs, actually further out the northwest suburbs in the Becker area, we were fortunate enough to get that contract. So it involves a lot of survey work, grading work, drainage, and environmental work, and it's a huge effort, but something that we're very proud of.
Any other big projects you're currently working on that you would care to highlight?
Yeah, we've got projects all over the country, and so I hate to just highlight some, but for quite a few years we've been working on. Our transportation team has been working on the rethinking I-94 between the downtowns, and that's a very high profile, very challenging project that they've been working on, and one that not a lot of people wanted to jump into, but we like to take on those challenging projects where we can use technology, where we can come up with different solutions maybe than other people have thought about. And I think that's what sets our company apart. In every area that we work in, we try to think a little bit outside the box. We want those clients that are early adopters to either new technology or new techniques. And in our space, we have to find a way to get by with less money to do the same projects. And we are very focused on that because we want our clients they have more work than they have money to do. So if we can find a way to shave some of those costs and do it a little bit more efficiently and effectively, then we can do more infrastructure. And that's really been a winning formula for us too.
What do you see as some of the biggest opportunities and challenges looking forward in the coming months? Do you expect to stay busy? Do you have what are some of the headwinds, I guess?
Yeah, there are definitely headwinds out there. This administration has different ideas about what they're doing, and that's challenging some of the solar projects that are out there because they're taking away some incentives. I still think it's a very it's very cheap energy in a lot of ways, and so I think the developers are still going to find a way to move forward on that. But we are heading in a couple of years into needing a new transportation bill at the on the federal side. So there's always those headwinds, and what I would say is that we're very active in working with our clients and working with the government, right, the elected officials, to try to educate them about what needs to happen, what we can do, and what are effective ways to continue to deliver these services. There's no limit in the amount of infrastructure that needs to be replaced or expanded as we go forward. But yet we need to be creative about how we're doing that. And that's why we're trying to deploy different ways using technology, not that we've developed, but that we are working with software developers to enhance. And we're finding solutions and ways to deliver projects safer and more efficiently and better. So, we're going to continue to monitor things, and we will shift as necessary to what is out there. But we're always looking for the next space that we need to be in. And so far, that's been successful. We are expanding around the country, and we're going to places that are high growth areas, the Southeast and Texas. Those are areas that we are going to expand our company because we think we have a lot that we've developed here in Minnesota and that we can take to other places, and vice versa. We learn from the state of Texas and Florida and Georgia and Oklahoma, all of those other places that we're at. We're able to bring that back to Minnesota too.
Is there a lot of wind and solar and those types of projects going on in Texas?
Yes, yeah, that is a big market. But we the nice thing about those projects, we don't necessarily have to have staff in those states in order to do those projects. That's really a national business. Wind is slowing down a little bit. Solar is still moving very rapidly, but there's other hydro plants, right, are going to be an important part of it. Batteries are as well, and so there's a lot that's going to go on, and with all the data centers that are happening, right, there's going to be a huge need for more power and actually for more water too. So
With all the expansion and plans for growth, do you have any concerns about workforce? Has it been challenging to find workers?
yeah, I think it is. But again, we have really focused on taking care of our staff and trying to find opportunities for them. That doesn't mean that we're immune to the turnover that happens out there, and people are going to. But I think we've been very fortunate to be able to attract a lot of great people to our company, and we try to keep them and encourage them in any way that we can. But you're constantly looking. I mean, that's just the reality. And if we can build from new graduates and develop them as we go forward, that's always our preference. But we've hired a lot of great people that have come in, and the acquisitions bring us new staff too, and new relationships. So that's been very positive. But you know, AI is going to change some things. I don't think it's for the worst, right? It is hard to find people, and we see AI as doing a lot of things that are very menial tasks and things that maybe aren't satisfying to somebody that wants to do it all day long as a job. And so, if we can continue to educate people and bring them up to work in the highest level that they possibly can work, and AI can fill in that bottom part, we think that that's a very positive thing. So, we are investing in that as well. But yeah, we're just not producing enough engineers, and so technology is going to help us continue to be successful.
Yeah, it's a changing world, that's for sure. Um, so getting back to your anniversary, the 30-year anniversary, are you planning any special events or anything of that nature?
Yeah, we're gonna have a little celebration for some of our longtime clients and our longtime staff to celebrate that. And we're doing some things from a marketing standpoint, 30 stories and 30 people, and just highlighting some of those things. Um, but it's we try to celebrate every year. We've got our anniversary is coming up on the 4th, and every year we take a half a day off and we reflect on where we came from and where we're going. And we don't spend, I'm not a good one to spend a lot of time looking backwards because it's important to look forwards, but it's one time a year that we do look back and we remember where we came from. And it's a totally different place. And people ask me all the time, can you believe what has been created? And it is a little bit, it's very humbling, right, to see what has happened. And it's really all of those people and all of those clients that have been along this path with us. And I've been fortunate enough to guide us in a way so that we were able to keep going and have people have faith in us as we are doing projects for them. So, it's hard to believe it's been 30 years. I don't think I've changed, but maybe physically, but not so much mentally. And and it's still a really exciting time, and the growth that we have right now and the talent that we have is, I don't think I could have ever imagined that. And no offense to the people that were always there with us before, but the level of talent that we have today is truly amazing.
Yeah, it's kind of like going to your 30-year high school reunion and wondering how it was that your classmates all grew older and you stayed young. How does that work?
Is isn't that the truth? It is funny. And but you see these companies that have been around, much longer than we have too. And but we're very proud. And but I like to think that 30 is a big milestone. But at the same time, we probably celebrate just as much when we turn 29 and 28 and 27. Each year that we're able to go forward and that we get a little bit better than we were the year before is really nice. And some of the people are brand new with us, right? And they can only reflect back on that 30 years. And so we every year we do our marketing team puts out a year in review, and it reflects on what we accomplished that year. And I think that's really important because we can just go from day to day to day and you forget about all the good things that you do. And so we do try to find a way to look back every year on all of those good things that we accomplished and where we came from. And so yeah, we're very proud. I'm a very fortunate person to have been able to start this company and be here to see it succeed the way that it has.
Well, great. Well, we covered a lot of ground there, Brad. Any final thoughts before I let you go?
No, I would just say that to all those business owners out there that are listening and that want to have that longevity is just focus on the right things, right? Focus on your staff, focus on your clients, focus on being the best that you can possibly be, and all the rest of it will come along with it. It's not about seeing how much money you can make. It's not about winning awards or, competitions in any way. I think if you just focus on those day-to-day things that are going to make you a great company, and don't be afraid to try some new things or to reach out and do something that is different than what everybody else is doing, that's okay too. And a lot of times that's going to pay some huge benefits to your company. So that's been our philosophy, and it's served us well.
Well, great. Well, thank you for your time, Brett. Congrats on your anniversary and best wishes for continued success.
Well, thanks so much. We really appreciate you taking the time to hear our story.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. All right.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye.